Now, if you want to have real knockout power, if you are a boxer athlete, you are going into the ring to do things that cause real damage. You're trying to protect yourself from being damaged. Then, if you want to make sure that you don't mess this up and build the right muscle tone and have the right cardiovascular to carry this stuff out, then this is the actual post that you want to pay close attention to if you want to be strong in the sport of boxing. The first thing that we got to keep in mind is muscle carries strength, but what activates the strength is the actual mind. So here are a couple of exercise drills that we do when we're going into like national tournaments, or the first time that I ever got to work with a world champion fighter under the tutelage of my super cool uncle and coach Anthony Bradley, who literally brought Ray Mercer in, who was a tank, and having the opportunity to see how that camp would play out. What I learned from working in camps with that kind of cachet is that they don't play around. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that were inclusive in that. And I'm also going to show you down below that you could see how real true athletes are gaining power like they are. Now, Tuesdays are the day that we cover what you put into your body to build the muscle. But here are the exercises that really get your cardiovascular up. And we call it the VO2, the amount of oxygen that your body can pump through and siphon through your body in 1 minute. All right. So the blood has to pump out, let's just say if you're a supreme athlete, approximately 52 liters. If you're someone like Jordan in 1996, when he was an absolute unstoppable phenom. So, how do we get our bodies to that point? First, cardiovascular training in what we call the high output zone. That's high target rate. All right. That's super. Some of you are refer to it as HIIT training, but this is number one. The second thing that we do is focus on how do we create that excessive strength that has activating the muscle. So not just lifting something strong and heavy, but muscle activation is one of the key components. And we do that with the medicine ball. So we don't only lift linear movements, we create a very explosive motion that follows through, and it actually encompasses multiple actions, rotations, press, push, turn, torque. And this is how you get power, and torque follows that. The next thing that we really concentrate on doing is making sure that no matter what, we do the MLMs. We call it multi-level movements. Some of you see them as burpees. And when you are doing these, what you're trying to do is exhaust the body using the lower and the upper extremities. When you're doing that, what's happening is the body is in a place where it's not able to rest at all. So when you're doing a push-up, you can kind of rest at the bottom. You're pushing up at the top, you can rest at the top. But in a burpee movement, you have to move the entire time. So we utilize that because we want oxygen and we're merging the world of strength and stability at the same time. The next thing is to sit up all the way. Our objective is to use the entire, what we call stabilization components of the body. This is where most of you call it core. We call it the abdominal region because it's a region. It's not just the center, but it actually anchors the entire body from the lower body to the upper body. So when you can anchor that in a full motion, and most people cannot do it, but what you do is get the mechanics down to a place where you're actually able to. So from there, we get to the agility. And the agility is super important. If you can be agile, then all of that strength, all of the cardiovascular components that you're adding, all play into the right kind of synchronicity like a symphony. Agility is extremely important because you want to take that power and create angles. So these are the components that we use. And like I said, it's let me see. There was something that I wanted to share with you guys that I jotted down, because all this takes all this leads you to having the ability to create movements from the strength, the stability, the oxygenation of the body. Each one of these components really play first fiddle to being a complete hybrid athlete. And a hybrid is being great in one area, great in another area, and then merging them together to make one unique athlete. And this is what we call a hybrid athlete. And if you are trying to become a hybrid athlete, then continue to follow for more. To learn how to infuse this kind of training into your program, you can type the word hybrid, or I think we put a link down in the description that will lead you to the Hybrid Fighter page, where you learn more about the components when you have an athlete that has the ability to stay strong after becoming strong, and then the skill set from the ground up. He's rooted in the principles of boxing. And when you're talking about the principles of boxing, it's where we teach boxing backwards. And what that does is it allows us to have the capability to teach you not only how, but you teach why first. And if you teach why, then you understand what's required to do and why it's required to be done. Then you learn when you need to do it and when not to do it. And then how. So we teach boxing backwards because we teach why first, when second, third, we teach you the actual physical mechanics so that you're not confused about when you do it. So that, my friend, is what you call a hybrid who's great at offense, great at defense, and has the conditioning to carry through. And when you have that all together, all you need to do from that point is hardwire your muscle memory into it until you cannot get it wrong. When you're training and you get to a point where you're bored, then you learn to train until that boredom becomes meditation. See, these are the things that happen when you train your body until it's subconsciously in you. So you can turn off your brain and it'll go on autopilot, just like blinking. So if that sounds like the direction you're heading, then visit the Hybrid Fighter page. Because Hybrid Fighter isn't the perfect fighter. A hybrid is the perfect weapon, and they're hardwired for optimal competition. So if you want to get hardwired for optimal competition, take a link, check it out, and enjoy your ride and your journey with Master Boxing. This is strengthening and conditioning yourself so that you can not only hit harder, but you can find openings and you can attack like a savage beast. If you have questions, be sure to leave it down in the comment boxes. We will be doing Wednesday Ask Me Anything. We call it the AMAs. Be on deck, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and have your questions ready because we're going in. Coach Bradley signing out. Be blessed. Peace, guys.